Out of respect of my daughter, I have kept quiet about this for a very long time of a situation that had happened to her. But given the situation with Mr. Pappas, I think we owe it to him to make some things known. So there was a situation February of 2021 when my daughter at the time, she was in ninth grade, a victim of a male teacher being inappropriate with her. If I may add, there are several complaints of other students over the past 14 years regarding the same teacher. She reported the incident to her guidance counselor, Monica, that she had at the time, and Mr. Pappas. They immediately took action and reported this to Rita. At the time, she was the superintendent. And Todd Klein was the prior superintendent. Long story short, no consequences ever became of the incident from the school district or the 10 plus other students who, to my knowledge, have apparently reported the same male teacher over the past 14 years. I reported the incident also to 2 outside agencies since apparently the superintendents could have cared less. To my knowledge, the investigation started when the investigation started, which was about a year later after the incident. To my knowledge, at the time that teacher resigned and the superintendent at the time apparently retired. Also, to my knowledge, the current superintendent was still being investigated as well in that process, which Mr. Pappas had to participate in helping her with the investigation. To my knowledge, the investigations are still ongoing with those outside sources. And out of respect for my daughter, I'm not going to go into the detail of all the trauma that it caused her for years. But just imagine being a student that this happened to, and every day you have to go to school in fear of running into this teacher or have other teachers talk, gossip, or even spread rumors that are not true about you. My daughter also had confided in another teacher who was a female, and my daughter told her about the incident that happened with that teacher. And the teacher's response to her was, "I don't believe," meaning the male teacher, would ever do something like that. My daughter felt as if she was the one being punished. She had to drop out of her one honors class that year because that was the only teacher who taught that class. And obviously, given what she experienced, she wasn't going to remain in that class. As well as some of her teachers treating her differently for speaking up about what a teacher did to her, my daughter was an honor student, respectful, never in trouble, honest, and quiet. She's now in college. She also made the dean's list. And anyway, the only 2 people who ever stood up for my daughter were Mr. Pappas and Monica. They were constantly being retaliated against by the superintendents over this incident. Mr. Pappas still to this day. One of his punishments were for speaking up, his transfer to Summit View the following year. And Monica, the guidance counselor, her punishment was that she was not going to be allowed to return the following year or apparently ever be able to work in the school district again. Perfect example of how doing the right thing and speaking up for the student results in being retaliated against by the superintendents. If you speak out and it has something to do with someone that they are friends with, you're the one who did wrong and you become the target. I can't tell you the number of times Mr. Pappas had reached out to me, still to this day, to check to see how my daughter and family are doing, apologizing for what happened over and over again and how the situation was handled by administration, wishing that he could have done more. I can never express how grateful I am that he and Monica took the situation so seriously, even if it meant costing them their jobs. I have a granddaughter who's 3.5 years old, who is my oldest daughter's child, not the daughter that this incident happened to. And by the time she has to go to school here, I hope that the school district gets rid of all the people who have no morals, compassion to do right by the students and put themselves first and put the children first and not their ego. With all that being said, I hope that the school board will think for themselves and not let some power-hungry, egotistic, selfless person manipulate you or threaten you when it comes to deciding to reinstate Mr. Pappas. You all have a chance to do the right thing, so make it count if you care anything about the students in this district. I hope you will do the right thing and also remember the type of person you allow to run this school district. At the end of the day, you, the school board, are in control of who the superintendents are of this district. And to the superintendent in charge of the well-being of students in this district, not only that, but as a woman, a mother of a daughter, and even a grandmother of granddaughters, you disgust me of the things you've allowed. Of all people, you should have done better by these female students. These inappropriate incidents happened over the years. This is another perfect example of depending who you are depends on what you can get away with over and over again with no accountability. Messing with any kid should be always off limits, no exceptions, zero tolerance. That's all I have to say.